Alright guys, today we are here again and this is my friend Ollie Dave. Ollie Cheese. Say hi to our subscribers.
Hi.
Alright, so life in the UK can be a bit challenging or somewhat challenging. Yes, as you all know, I am a UK graduate, but currently I am not working. Yes, per se, in quote, I have worked and doing something on part-time. I'm not doing something that is satisfactorily what I would have loved to be doing in this very country, because I have what is it called, an educational qualification. I should be in school doing my 9-to-5 job, something more professionalized, but currently, because I have someone who is into a full-time job, the opposite of me, so, and that we have a child, because having a child in the UK is another sort of a bigger challenge one has to handle as a family here. Yes, where we come from as Nigerians, child care, child minding is something that is very affordable, and it is very easy. But here, time is precious. Time is money. Even if you are paying for a child care, the person tells you 2 hours, you have to maintain that 2 hours. You cannot extend it, because any extension means extra pay. And here is my friend who actually quits her specialty job, to something in healthcare that is somehow lesser than her professional specialty in this very country. So I've brought her here today to share with us the reason she has to give up her professional job. She has 3 children per se, but I wouldn't really know. So I want her to share her experience why she abandoned her specialty, professional job that is paying her more, to something a bit lesser. Welcome. Can we hear from you, please?
The hardest truth that ladies, women, mothers have to live with is, if you want to be an intentional wife, mom, it's all about compromise. And the truth is that most times we ladies are the ones that may have to compromise a lot in marriage. Coming about careers, you have to, not because the guy can't, but because a lot of, like, when it comes to child care, man no fit carry belle now, man no fit breastfeed. A lot of all those things is just on a default settings or not. So just like when I came here, if you look at the child care settings, one, if you can cope with one child, to an extent you can cope with 2 kids, but obviously with 3 kids. If you put your kids in child care where you have to be paying like £55, 8 to 6 or thereabout, depending, the longer the hour, the more the money. Imagine having like 3 kids. So you could be paying like between close to £200 in a day for childcare. So
then how much is childcare in this country?
Yeah,
in this Liverpool.
In Liverpool. Then years ago when my last baby went, because at some point she went on it's 5. I think the cheapest we got was £55, which I think is from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. or I think 8 to 6. Yeah, £55 per day.
So when does school close?
Like, okay, my son then was 3 years, and then he's only eligible for like 15 hours, which runs, you can either go for 8:45 in the morning to 11:45 or 11:45 to 3:15. So you now calculate the cost. So obviously, because my husband is professional, so both of us cannot work. Like, it doesn't just work. That's just the saddest truth here. Where I'm working now, though it's not my field of expertise, but then the most important thing now is family. Family matters. So at the end of the month, we are not having to pay child care. We are not having to pay, because when I was working in the other clinic, I was buying 20 tickets. I was like, and I sometimes, because I have to leave early to drop them, sometimes they could even go for breakfast. But I didn't even mention that, because
and if you pay for breakfast,
you have to.
In my son's school is £2.
Yeah, and then whatever thing you're paying is times 3. So you see it. So at the end of the day, and then you still have to, I still have to be stressed out to go to work. And sometimes by the time you get to work, the patients are there, you don't even, So but here it's just 2 minutes away from me. So obviously, like, in this my job now, financially I think I'm better here. Emotionally, or every otherwise, as a mom, as a wife, I think I am better. Now I'm in control of my kids, I'm in control of my 24 hours. My husband is working, nobody's working under stress. Yeah, and then I have my time. I could go on holiday anytime I want to. I could take my leave. I could practically go across, because it's 2 minutes away from my house. I go to work, finish what I'm doing, go on the system. I could shut down and come home and then do, if I obviously need to do something. Sometimes I could come home for like 2-3 hours, and sometimes I just stay in the office. It's just like an on-call duty. Like, if there is any emergency, most times there is no emergency. Emergency could come once in 3 months or more. The basic thing I do there is just basically medication, computer work, stay in the system to do the medication and whatever, appointment and whatever. So it's just like a peace of mind for me.
And to top it up, in her professional job, I was here yesterday, they rang her to come for a locum shift.
Yeah.
And she said, no. Can you imagine that? Because she knows the timing that is involved. I think is it 9 to 5?
Yeah,
something like that, which she cannot do.
Okay, I think I skipped something vital. There are some professional jobs that have day and night shift, but my profession, like I said, I do ops and gynae. So in my field, we don't do night shift.
Oh yes.
So that was why, because I skipped this.
Yeah.
That was why it's hard for me to navigate around. It's basically it's 8 to 4, 9 to 5. I mean, the timing must cut across school time.
Yeah.
So that's just the reason why it's difficult for me. And my husband too. My husband,
a Nigerian man is not the kind of man you ask to sit at home.
And my husband too, his kind of job doesn't have night shifts. So both of us are just 9 to 5, 8 to 4 kind of couples.
Yes,
so I know medical doctors could do night shifts, nurses they could do. I mean, but that is not our situation. So one has to obviously.
No, me, I cannot even do a permanent night because some of my husband's shift runs across. You know the twilights. That they will start from, let's say, 12 to 12 midnight. I cannot do a night shift.
I think the key word
4 to 12 midnight.
Just to get a job, that was what I did. Get a job that is flexible. The way it is now, even if I need to go to work tomorrow, I could just call them and say, it's just very flexible for me. I'm never in any tight corner. Unlike my professional job, they can't give you 2 weeks holiday on a stretch. No, who's going? You want them to go and be using locum? When they'll be paying locum £55 per hour, £40 per hour, and stuff like that, and then you know how long you're going to be. Because normally NHS band, you know, your permanent job doesn't pay you much more like an agency or locum. So most times they want to curb using agencies because it makes them spend more. So sometimes even though you're entitled to like maybe 6 weeks holiday in a year, they're not going to give it to you stretch. But where I am now. I am divorced. I do what I want, and then my family will be together. I have all. That was why I could have your time, you know. It was my normal job. I didn't even have time for visiting, which is one of the important aspects of my life.
She's a vibe.
Oh God.
She's a vibe.
And obviously because we are dependent on my husband, he was one that brought us here, obviously, so we could. And then he was traveling a lot. This minute is there, next minute he was traveling out of UK, so you can imagine him traveling, and so it's a whole lot of things to juggle. So I think basically if you come here, you're here in UK as a mom, I know it feels bad because it took me time to make up that piece. I mean, when I was in Nigeria, I could do business. By the way, I'm from Unewe, and then you know what we are known for. So
business.
I could settle with business. I was cool with it. I was catching out still. But here, doing business is still not even feasible, and a lot of things is still not feasible. But just make up your mind, make that peace in you that parenting is rewarding, especially if you have a partner that still cares and appreciates your effort. Just know that in the first how many years, depending on when your child grows or up to the level they can stay. So that's just, and because I have 3 kids, I can't make this arrangement of pick my kids today and pick your kids today, and because it's so frustrating. I've tried it when I was in the clinic, so sometimes I could be in the clinic, they're calling me for my kids, and my kind of job, you want to be careful because you don't want to litigate yourself, you don't want to make all these silly mistakes, and then they'll stroke you off from practicing here. So you want to be careful because I'm still coming up here, I've not even landed. So that was why at some point I made that decision. So instead of all this, because if you look at what you're giving to child care and look at yourself, no matter how much you earn, even if you earn £40 per hour, even if you earn £30 per hour or whatever, take away your logistic, your expense as an Unewe indigenous I am now. I check it. I calculate. So I've calculated, I've checked and balanced, and I told myself it's not even wise. I know the satisfaction of being in your field, satisfaction of practicing in your field of expertise, but then you have to be real as a mom. You have to make that sacrifice. It's on default setting. So I told myself, I think number one, I'm working on pressure. I'm working on that stress, which is not good for me. And then I made up my mind to just resign from my job, and I'm still in healthcare, but I'm not in my field of expertise now. So and then I think it was August last year that I resigned, and what I'm doing now
how do you find it?
It wraps around my family, honestly. Like I'm working, but you know it looks like I'm not working.
What time do you? I mean, your time.
I do night shift because obviously one has to do night shift. That's normal UK. This, you know, one has to do night shift, one has to do day shift. So I decided to start doing night shift, obviously. And my husband.
What time does your shift start at night?
I work 8 to 8, and then
8 to 8.
Yeah, 8 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Yeah.
So how the children go to school?
Yeah, so the way it works is my husband works 9 to 5, and then my husband works local. The two jobs makes us fully available for our family, and then now we're not having to pay for any child care.
That's great.
But when we are paying for child care every 4 weeks, you're giving school for each person maybe close to like £400. That's just for till 3 o'clock, and then you have to pay another child care. So you can imagine after checks and balances, it's not even talk about other bills and everything. Childcare wants to take almost your start. So I used to tell people, if you insist you're working, if you tell yourself the truth, at some point you're working for the country. Except for some people that want to take that risk, which I am not advising, leaving their kids or I don't do. Myself and my husband, we made that decision. We're not going to, from Nigeria, we made that decision. We're not going to leave our kids under anybody's care. Don't get me wrong, we do like take them to school, but we cannot continuously, like in this country now, want to go and be keeping my kids, so because they are 3 and then 2 girls and a boy, girls are vulnerable, so I would rather stay back for them now, because I know it's not something that is going to be like here in UK. One thing here in UK is that after the Bible said that anything your hands finds to do it with all diligence. Sure. There is work. You can always, whatever thing you're doing, you can always,
there are a lot of jobs,
you can always live well. You can always live well. Yeah. So the thing is that many people don't make that peace in their mind. There is no job that is anything you're doing to provide for yourself.
Dignified in this.
So and then a lot of jobs there that are still okay. It mustn't be care job. It mustn't be warehouse. There are other decent jobs that are a little bit professional too. You can still settle for. So where I currently work, it's just 2 minutes away from my house. I showed you again, and then it's not that I'm working, I'm earning, but it feels like I am 100% efficient as a wife, sure, and as a mom, and at the end of the month, my eyes are still smiling.
All right, so having heard from her the reasons why she quit her professional job or why she paused it, yes, because currently she can still go and do some locum in her profession, right? Yeah. Sorry, in her specialty per se, but she paused that because of all what she has stated here, all the constraints that she has listed here, and she's happy and better in what she's doing. Hence, she's here for the family, and everybody is just working opposite of the other one's rota. I mean, she and the husband. So this is basically what life is all about here. So please, you live in Liverpool. You have been here for how many years in total? About 5 years.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, because going to the town yesterday, the town was bubbling, so busy, and I saw high number of black people out there. Yes, or Africans in quotes. Nobody is black. Are we black in color? No, we are not. and those who claim to be white are neither white in color. Yes. So can you really tell me, how do you find life here in general?
Liverpool is a great city. Liverpool is one of the major cities in England, by the way, because
I think it came 14th position when I checked. Yeah.
Because we have a lot of social amenities, a lot of infrastructures. I think I've been to London, which is the capital city of England.
Yes.
And when I was there, because when I came, everybody would be like, London. I've been to London, and then I noticed that most of the things we have here is in London, but London is like Lagos. I went on the tube, and when I went to London, most times you won't even get chance to sit. My kids were crying.
It's too rowdy.
It's too rowdy. And then I asked them, most of the things they struggle, just like what is happening in Lagos. Sometimes they are sick, they couldn't even get a phone because everything is stressed there. But here in Liverpool, when you talk about kids, we have one of the specialists
hospitals.
At the Children's Hospital, I think it's just two. I don't know, but I know it's not many of them in the whole of United Kingdom. And Liverpool happens to have one. And then again, we have Women's Hospital, which is a specialist hospital that does all this fertility and everything that pertains obs and gynae is even a stone throw from where I live. And then coming about the universities, we have two.
Yeah, how many universities?
I think it's 3. We have University of Liverpool. Yeah. We have Liverpool John Moores University. We have Hope University.
Okay, Hope, yes.
Then we have a lot of tourist attractions. Like we have the South Pole for the kids. I take my kids them sometimes 2 to 3 times in a year. We have the Albert Dock. We have our city center. I took you to the city center. We didn't have to just drive that far to get there, and then you can literally get everything you want. I don't want to talk about the African shops.
Oh my God, there are lots of African. I thought I was marveled. I was just wow. And then lots of them on the street there. Yeah. I bought or half for myself.
Talk about the cost of living.
Cost of living, that's where I was coming.
It's very affordable, and everything is just a very small. It's just a very small and mighty community that gives you everything within the same space. Like when I went to London, everything you want to do, you have to go far, go I mean, we could go around yesterday. We could go to how many African
everything is concentrated within it.
I mean, everything is just, you get a quality, and then we have hospitals, university teaching hospitals. I mean, everything, basic things we need as a family, as a.
Even I felt like I was in Nigeria in a way, because I was just seeing.
And that was obviously one of the reasons why now I came back to UK. I could adopt, because we have the Igbo community here. The other day we did our end of the year party. Wonderful. You see the Igbo community is called ICAO, the Igbo Community Association in Liverpool, which is a very vibrant one. When you're there, you will feel like this year we had our New Yam, we ate yam, and then we had our BBQ party, we had our end of the year party, and next year they are trying to make it in a way that they will bring our kids where they get an Igbo teacher that will teach the kids Igbos and stuff like that. So you see that now we are having that home feeling. Sure. So that nostalgic feeling is gone. Aside the fact that I still miss my family, you know, because they're not here with me, but like I don't miss anything here. We get our vegetable. I mean, we get everything at the tip of our feet.
So guys, you have heard it all from the horse's mouth. Someone who has been living in Liverpool for about 5 years now. So she has just shared all her experiences, you know. So if you are outside of the UK and still planning to come to the UK, and you are considering which of the cities would be better for you, maybe you put Liverpool in your list. Yes.
We will never walk alone. We've never walked alone. I didn't even mention our stadiums. You know that we have the Liverpool stadium.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't even take you there. We have the LFC stadium there. Imagine. And then we have the Everton. Imagine. I mean, I missed a lot of things.
It's such a wonderful place.
Liverpool is just so good.
I felt really at home. I felt really happy walking around.
One thing again I didn't even mention when I was talking about my job. Now in this job, it's giving me time to know I could do my driving and a lot of things I've not done before. I have that time. You see. And I'm doing it now. So
it's really amazing. So consider coming here too. Yes. And then you need to advise, if you are a family, one person has to sonji.
Yeah.
For the other person, or you plan a way to be working opposite of, I mean, your spouse. Yes. Because
at first somebody is on dependent visa and the other one is the sponsor. So you have to fulfill your visa terms and everything. So
exactly. That's another major point.
Yes. So that
takes a while. It takes time.
The summary of everything is that when you're coming to let me talk about UK, just make up your mind depending on your visa category. Just make even if you're coming as a spouse or whatever, I think the minimum is 5 years. If you're coming as a with work visa, it's 5 years. If you're going the student route, it's 10 years. And so just make up your mind that whatever route you're going to is going to take you up to like minimum of 5 to 6 years to even settle. Sure. And then until then, as a wife, as a mom, just make peace within your mind that this is obviously what you're going to be doing. It's going to help you, because if you don't make that peace, that is where you see a lot of women depressed and which was
running away from their marriage.
Something that like happened to me before. But now, if you look at me, I mean,
you're stronger.
I am not there, but like I'm very happy and fulfilled, and then that's what matters. Yes. I think one thing is that fulfillment is what we know when we are fulfilled. But
absolutely.
But people tend to see when you're successful. But it's you that know, even when people are seeing success in you, it's you that knows deep down you if you're actually fulfilled.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You're right. All right. Thank you once again. I really appreciate your time. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn the notification bell on. Like this video. Drop your comments and keep coming for more. Bye.